Hello everybody, how are you doing this fine evening? I'm doing pretty okay again. I was sick last stream, as you might have seen, but I'm better now, so that's fine. Let's see, I'm still setting some things up, so bear with me. There we go. We have some Greenshift updates, so why delay it? Let's get into it. Let's see which cameras. There we are. So hello there. The first update, first message from Igor, I should say. If you're already a little bit known in the, if you followed the news, I could rather say, within the WordPress community, there's a tool that is called Quickly, and they have decided to stop development, and it's very sad news, of course. And they are very disappointed themselves, and also there were some messages in the Greenshift community because of that, and Igor shared a message that he has questions in his mind from time to time. What would happen if he would stop developing Greenshift? And he rest assured us that he will provide all sources to a team that has a similar vision, so they can continue the development of the Greenshift. And if the team or teams refuse, that he will open source the code to the community. So it's a very nice of him to reassure that when something happens to Greenshift, or he decides to not go further, that not something similar to it like Quickly happened, and suddenly you've invested in a tool, you've invested time to learn the tool, and that everything you've done is gone, actually. And that's pretty sad. So he would at least try to have someone continue development or share these sources for the Greenshift team, which I think is a very good thing. And hopefully it will never come to this, because if you're seeing this, you're doing such a great job. Please continue on doing what you do and do what you love. So that was a little bit of an emotional part of this stream. For the next one, there's an update. They are now taking time to invest in simplified panels. And these are the options they are thinking about on making available for users that will not have full access to everything. So it's for specific roles. I hope you can set the role that gets this simplified interface. Maybe you can create another one. But let's see how this will work out. And the idea is that the simplified panel will make sure that a beginner can work with the Greenshift blocks. So they get fewer options, and these options will increase the user experience, because it's not that hard then to use. You only have the option to change colors, have some typography options, some spacings, border options, and there's also a question on should they allow shadows and position animations for clients. I think animations is a little bit too far, except for the default ones that are pre-made or something. But yeah, I like the idea of simplified panels. There isn't a example, but it's basically the panel you have in editor, and it will be simplified with these settings. So the other settings will be available for admins, but not for clients, so they can mess up your content. I think this will also be very easy to use in conjunction with the semi-synced patterns that is coming up in the next release of WordPress. I just saw a Facebook post that there's a release candidate one available, and in about 2 weeks it should be released. So I'm very curious and really excited for it to be released so I can test it out myself as well. But for now, it is what it is. For the next update, Igor shared that they are continuing on working and adding on templates and wireframes. It was because of this post from Michael Anderson, and Igor states that there will be a big update for FSE templates soon. It was temporarily paused in February because they were working on some integration for a library into the editor, but that's finished, so we will continue. So that's very good news. This will allow us to create our websites even faster. I'm very curious how much they will be creating. Now, I searched back and found this post. It is a video of the patterns and of a Greenshift landing page. And this is what he shared on November the 30th. I really sometimes can pronounce things. It is what it is. And he shows some of the designs that they will release. This one we already have. They've released this one. It looks very awesome. And the previous one also looks awesome. So you get some ideas on what's coming up next. And I think the designs are just amazing. eWatch website. This looks a little bit Apple-ish. Relax. Food. Some fashion website. Travel website. All of them look really nice, so I'm curious. A fitness website. So those will be developed in the next phase, I guess, and that's really awesome. So that's what he is saying here, that they are continuing on the templates, wireframes, and there will be a big update of FSE templates. So I'm very happy and curious to see how this works. Then I can maybe also redo my create a website in Greenshift tutorial, because I have one, but it's old and the templates aren't that good. But if they are good, but I think they are not up to date anymore or something. Could take a look when this releases. I should take a look at it again. So now you know what's coming up next. And quite possibly there's plenty more, but we'll see. So the next one was from a message from Hamza. Hi guys, any suggestion like WP Zip? What can be used for Greenshift? And what Igor told here is that they are working on adding support for Reloom. So that was very exciting news, I think, because Reloom is a tool that creates AI wireframes and creates a sitemap, the wireframes of the sitemap, and some style guides. Stop your Inspro. AI turn your wire into polished design. So this is for the whole website, and that's really awesome. Can you just imagine how this would work? And then you can export it to WordPress, and this is so amazing. I mean, this is an AI generator, and yeah, you can with ease just create the first draft of your website and see if it's to the liking of the of your client. You still need to fine tune, I can imagine. I don't think it's one click and done. And it also already works with Webflow, and it is also working with Figma. I was curious on what the pricing was, and I think it was, for me, this is quite expensive, but that's because I'm not an agency, I'm just a hobbyist. So for a hobbyist, paying $32 a month is very expensive. But hey, if you're a big agency and just want to go and have a client that doesn't want to pay much, then this is a very easy way to get started. And it will export to Figma. You will also be able to export the wireframe, and here you have unlimited use for $40 a month. So I was really excited to hear that they are working to get an AI generating thing, and that they will work with Bloom. I also hope, because it's $30 a month, that there will be alternative that will be cheaper than this. But let's see what will happen, right? Next up was the Greenshift Elements. They have announced that they want to simplify things for developers, and there will be a clean block called Element. It has no styles, no WordPress wrappers or whatsoever, no attributes, only a class system, quite similar like this. And what you can do is that you can select the tag. Should it be an inline, like an H123, or a block, like a div section main or article, or a form kind of field, like an input form text area, and that sort of things. What else could you think of that could be like this? Instead of inline, I would say that it would be a content element or a content tag, because it has your contents. This one for blocks can also be layout, because blocks are usually used to create a certain layout. But I think block is fine. And then you have form for your input fields and that sort of things. This way you have more control over what gets output, what the output is of the Greenshift code, which, if you like, that is very nice to use. For me, I think it doesn't make sense to use it, but I am very curious how this works, because you can significantly decrease the amount of elements that are on the page if you would like to. That being said, the code Greenshift already outputs by default is very clean in my opinion, so that you know that. On to the next announcement. Night mode is coming out. And he said night mode at first. And I thought it was funny. I was thinking of Michael Knight. Would there be a red stripe then? And then you can call him on your watch and say, come here. But I asked him, is it dark mode? Because that's the common name for switching from night to dark. And he says, yeah, it's a good suggestion. And I was like, yeah, it's not just suggestion. It's used in almost all the interfaces, actually. Like Apple, Edge uses it, Windows uses it. So I think dark mode makes the most sense, and everybody is already using that term. But anyway, it's amazing that there will be a update that night mode will be available to the stylebook, and you have a night mode switcher block. So that is awesome. And the last message is from me. I have sent a poll, and I will add it to the chat, because I'm very curious to understand you. I'm just sitting here behind my camera, very safe and sound, of course, and I'm very curious on to know what is your experience level. So I will be posting questions to get some knowledge on what kind of content I could create. And as we can see right now, I can't see how many people have answered. You can see that on mobile, but you can't see that on desktop. So that's a little bit weird, but as you can see, most of the people that have voted in the poll are a little bit knowledge on web creations and know their way around. Some have years of experience, and some call themselves an expert. So this division does help, I think, with knowing who we could ask questions, because I hope the experts in this group can help us understand more on Greenshift, but also in WordPress itself. And if we have some crazy big questions, we know at least that we can reach out to someone and they could help us. Also for my video tutorials, I know where to focus on. So I do see that most of the people know their way around, and there's some experienced people. So then I know who I'm. Have people voted twice as well? I see Ben Woods at least voted twice. He voted on everything, or oh no, it's not. But then I get a sense or on what kind of videos I need to make, and if I'm seeing this, I think it doesn't make sense to do most of my videos around the people that are knowledgeable, but maybe want to dive deeper in Greenshift specifically. I don't think WordPress specifically, so that's why I asked the questions in the poll. And these people could benefit from some kind of more in-depth course, I guess, to understand how you can start out. But it's very good to see that the most voted are these two, and that's what I expected. That the people know their way around and have been working with WordPress for a couple of years now, including myself, of course. And this was the people I would like to focus on for my tutorial, so I will keep doing that. And I will try to see what kind of tutorials I could make for people that know their way around, but maybe get a more deep dive sense into things. If you are one of the people that have voted for the poll, or if you would like to vote, please see it in chat. Maybe I will leave a comment down below in the description down below as well. But yeah, I'm very curious. What would you like to make? And I will do these kinds of polls, I guess, once or twice a week. One, to get more engagement, and two, to get more understanding on what kind of videos I could make to help you guys out as well. So that's it actually for the updates. And we are 18 minutes away, so that's nice. We have plenty of time to work on the responsiveness of this website. So let's open this up again and see. There we go. I see that this is open, but that can't be closed. So let's open another one and open our editor. Edit site. Yes, this is our front page. Cheers. So there we are. Our website. Let's open the mobile version. I was thinking the other day, because we had an issue with our images. They will sometimes come in and sometimes won't. And you also see a slight line of the images. And I actually would like to fix that, because even if you scroll just a little bit, you sometimes can see it and sometimes you won't be able to see it. There we go. And it is just not so nice. So I was thinking the other day, if we would change the interaction layer to be triggered instead of the image itself to the parent, which is this container. Would that make sense? And I hope it does. So it does mean that there's a little bit more effort going into it, but I'm hoping it's worth it. So let's copy the class. Oh yeah, when you go and click to get the parent container, it will create a class on your parent container. See, there it is. And if we then add it to our interaction layer to be this one, I'm very curious. Will it work? And then we can change our clip path as well, because that's the one we would like to fix. This can be set to 0 and it doesn't matter. 0. And this one also set to 0. And let's save. Now I am curious. Will it work? And it doesn't. It still doesn't work. That's sad. Was it saved? Custom trigger selector. Would be nice that you have the select option as well. On enter viewport, and it triggers on this element. That's too bad. Still doesn't work. Let's see if we put it back to 16. Oh, this is the new value. We need to reset the old value. I'm sad. I hope this worked. 16.7. And does this work? Because we're triggering on our parent container, I hope this will work, but it seems like it doesn't matter. Hey, but it still doesn't work. And if we said, is it because flip off? Do we then need to add that it needs to be on this image instead of the parent? Does it add the clip off to the parent? No, that's something we can figure out, right? Seems like nothing is happening. And if we add the interaction layer, we will not give up. We will be challenging this. It's a shame that you can't do the auto selection for that as well. Let's see. So the image does have a clip path, and we want to have the interaction layers. So we go to interaction layers. So we know that this one doesn't work. But if we put the interaction layers one level above, let's see, interaction layer, what fonts? To the container, we want the interaction layer to be added. It needs to be on viewport enter. The root margin is -30. Damn it. I hate that this happens. It crashes because I want to change the value. And now it doesn't work anymore. would be nice if that would be fixed, because that's really annoying. But continue. So we want to have this on enter. Right, let's set a move margin by default. 930. This can be 0. What will happen? Not a new interaction layer. On interaction layer, we want a action to happen on clip path attribute 100. We want to have it on a custom selector, and it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do I only see container wrappers here? I see that there's a CSS grid of containers there, so it would be nice if this could reflect that one. Insert selector. So the clip path of this image, and we need to set it to image, because else it doesn't work correctly. If I remember correctly. So the clip path will now change, hopefully. It is working. What? It is working? And that is because of the image having a working interaction layer. So let's remove that one, save. And it's still working. Awesome. We found it. We fixed it. That's nice. Oh man. We can but we need to change this to 0. And if it works, then I found a way to use it. It is a little bit of a thing to set it up though. It's working. Awesome. We found a solution. So you just add the interaction layer to another section. All right. Something awesome. Transform. Scale. Set it to 1. Transform. I can write it the right way. And then scale to 1. Yep. Reload. Oh, and then we need to set again the same custom attribute. And hit save. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's working. Awesome. We finally got it working. We finally got it working as intended. So, select this one again. Nice. So now you know too. If you want to get it to work, you only need to add the interaction layer to the parent. And then everything works. Apparently. Yes, that was a pun intended. Remove. So let's remove them for these 3. And go, save. So I want to verify that it works. If it works once, you don't know for sure. But if it works twice, then it works good enough. So we want to enter to -30. This one is 0. We want to action, set a to clip off. And that one needs to be 100 and 100. Copy that one. We select our image. So now we have to find our container. Insert selector. It's really annoying because this selector selects the parent wrapper. It adds a wrapper to an image. And then it doesn't select the image while the clip path is on the image itself in the style. So it's rather annoying. But if you know that, then you know how to select it. Here's our ID, and the ID is on the parent and not on the image itself. Clip path, interaction layer. It's a shame that you can't just set a few other options as well, that you can set multiple variables. But yeah, this gets the job done as well. And then transform kill to 1. Save. And on the last one, we will remove the interaction layers. It's already gone. And we will add in advanced interaction layers, add new. Then we add when this element enters the viewport, -30 and 0. We add a action, and the action will be to set a clip path property to a value of 100%, meaning it will show everything, and set the transform kill to 1. We have to select what needs to be changed. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want it to be this one. Image, insert selector, and add that as well to this one. Hit save. And will it still work? Because if it does, it is awesome. There it is. Awesome. It does work. I see something going wrong with the wither mod. It doesn't scale. Did we set scale in here? Or did I forget? It said scale, but I didn't select the right image. So this one. There we have it. Add image to insert selector. Hit save. And now it should work. No, we can set. Yes. So set the interaction layer to the parent, and with the parent select the image. And then you know that the changes will happen. Awesome. Now we can set the clip path of the image to 0. That's nice. That's really nice. It's nice. Let's see. I do think. So we can do that also for the other images, but I want to just go on with the responsiveness of the website. I think the slider can also decrease in size on mobile. On the normal one, I mean, not mobile. Do we need to set everything to 0 here? 0. It doesn't matter. Does it add a spacing here? Yes, it does. So let's remove the spacing. And let's reset it here. Because when you don't need extra attributes, remove them. Let's refresh. And now it should be a bit tinier. Doesn't feel like it's tinier, right? Because of this space here. And that's the spacing of the previous container. So let's see if we can remove the spacing from the bottom. There we go. And hit save again. Now, since nobody is watching right now, I will just put on a little music. I am assuming that you won't hear it, but to be sure, I will be just using the royalty-free music of Lofi Girl. Free YouTube music stream. Use the music for free. Well, I will put it on. Release it. I will just put it on, and if it's audible, we'll just add in the disclaimer you have to add in. I guess that's fair enough, right? And the music you love. So I hope it's now only audible for me, and if it isn't, we will find out. Hey, there's one watcher. Hello, how are you doing? We just fixed this issue of the clip path not being able to set to 0. And now it works. You have to watch back to know how I fixed it, but it's now fixed. Let's see. Continue our journey. I think we should just reuse what they have used as well. And change some settings. One looks good. One's a little bit big for my taste still, but that's fine. Let's see. How will this look on mobile? My keyboard doesn't have enough 5 key, so I have to see if I can find it. It looks horrible here, so you see? Let's change that up. Oh, too bad. The one and only viewer has left again. So I see that the spacing between those two is a little bit weird. Let's see. It is a minus. We probably set it to minus for a reason, but let's unset it and see what happens. There it is. Now I do understand why I set it to minus margin, because there's still a lot of spacing left. But can that be fixed using the container? Let's see. Top, set it to 0, and margin to 0. And for the other one, we set the bottom to 0. Hit save, and let's see what happens. Saving failed. Oh dear. Refresh. There we go. Looks a little bit better. Still a lot of spacing with this one. It's because of the ladders, isn't it? That's so annoying. It's something I don't know how to fix right now. Let's see our story. This is the part where we were stuck, because we want our title first, then the paragraph, and then lastly the button and the line. So let's see how this looks here. And there should also be a line here, and there isn't. So we need to set our border on bottom to be 1 pixel light solid. And now we have a border there as well. And let's add a little bit of spacing to the bottom. On EM should be fine. Let me quickly check on the kits. Sound asleep. Nice. Hit rate is 0. Does that mean nobody can hear me? Wait, let me check. If that's the case, then I'm talking to another one. Nothing. Where do we put it? Ah, luckily, there's sound. Yep, the sound is working. Ooh. I was almost afraid that it wouldn't work. So for anybody rewatching, I didn't know if my sound was working, but it seems like there is no issue. Let's see how we can fix this. Because we have a container. And this is the problem I have. I think this really is the problem that I have with using another tool. Because in CSS you can set the column which this shows, and you can change it on mobile. But when using another tool, you're limited to the options they give you, right? And here this custom range isn't available for the heading tag and isn't available for the button, which it could be and should be actually, but it isn't there, so we can't reorder it in the side panel. Let's see what we can do. Duplicate. Maybe if we do it manually, it's fine. Let's move that to the CSS container. And can we change the grid? Or this one to, yeah, that should be it, right? But it doesn't change. See, that's where this gets annoying. So we should set it 3. And then we can add a little bit of custom CSS. I'm very unhappy that we have to, but I guess that's the only way. Now, I don't know it by heart, so let's see. Col and row span CSS grid. There we go. And I always like the CSS tricks version of it. but that is not the one that I was searching for. So let's open this one up, and it should be called pen. Grid column. You can set a grid column and a grid row. This isn't the tutorial I was looking for. But let's see if we can find it in here. Or is the website just differently because of my browser size? This is grid playground. The complete guide, this one was the one I was searching for. Here we have the one with column, start and end. You can also write it down like this. Start line, one end line, two. Start line one and two. And for this one, for the button, we can set it to custom CSS, start in row 2, and this one needs to line two, 4. That should work. I don't see it reflecting. Ah, there we have it. This one looks a little bit too big. So we can set on friction or content. It needs to span 2 columns. Text needs to start at column 1 or row 1. 3. What are columns and rows again? So the third line, and then dash to 4. Third to last line. The rows, so it's row 1 to row 3. This one also should be row 1 to row 3. Row 1, 3. One, 2, 3. Row 2, row 3. But it should be in the first column. One should be in the second column. It should be 2/3. Second column 2 to 4. And the grid should be from 1 to 3. This should be working. As we can clearly see, it doesn't work right now. Oh, it does. It does work as expected. We still need to change some things. For example, the margin of our story should be smaller. We can set the margin from the top to 0. And I guess the button has a little bit of an issue. Row end. We need to change this one. By and align. And this should be start. So we set the inner grid items, align to top. And set the sizing to be minimum of content. I guess this one needs to be 1FR. So this one will have the height of our story, and the button should be 1 fraction, so the remainder, but it will be aligned top, so it doesn't look strange. Refresh. It still doesn't look good. Almost there. Let's see. The button needs to get a justify align. And justify start. And align. And that's also some settings that is not available within the general section, so we have to add it ourselves in here. And if we hit save, it should fix our issue. There we go. So now we can reorder this one on mobile however we would like to, but we have to add a media query to our custom CSS. And this is the thing why I dislike using any kind of other tools. You're quite limited to how they implement certain things, and especially when we're looking at grid, can be very powerful. You should be able to write a piece of code that can determine if the parent is set to a container like a grid. But yeah, it's the way it is right now. And we can fix it like this. And if we make the page smaller, it should have a different value. We also define what the media query is. I think it is already defined by Greenshift itself. Yeah, can just copy and paste it one, so that's making our jobs easier. Perhaps we want to do that earlier. think this one is fine. Let's just copy and paste the way this does it, and it does that on the one that we have copy and paste already, so that's fine. My nose is itching, I'm sorry. And let's change those values. So the button needs to be at the bottom. Set to 3 of 3. On mobile, can this also be done by changing to mobile? It doesn't matter, right? Deflex start can be removed because it will do that automatically. Copy and paste this value. Responsiveness. Actually, that's quite good. Save them. And as we can see, it's nicely aligned down at the bottom. Only thing we need to change is how the grid will look on mobile. So let's change the grid. On mobile, it should look like this. Okay. Refresh the page. I was expecting that it would work because there's only one column. Apparently it isn't. So let's see if we can change the settings as well for those. And this one needs to be in column 1, also on mobile. 1 of 3. And it needs so in the same column. That can be row 2 or 3, and the button can be in three. Oh, that's 1. 3, 2, 4. That should be it. Let's see what happens if we refresh this. Now it's ordered like we would like to have it. And if we go to our desktop view, as expected, I would like to have the hierarchy. So we can remove the previous version. It's a little bit tedious that you have to add the CSS code yourself, but it's just the way it is, right? And let's remove the border when we're looking on mobile. And let's see the text area, border or mobile. Want this 0. You can set it to 0. That's annoying. So we set it to 1, and then we set the color to transparent, and that works as well. We need to add a spacing on mobiles. You can see too tightly packed. So we add a margin to the top and bottom of the section. And if we refresh again, should be, oh, saved field. I guess order doesn't want to help. 0. Save filled. It's not good that I get that amount of failed saves. See, we can always do that manually. If it can't be done one way, we can always set it another way. Let's just refresh this. Let's see if it fixes it as well. And now our order is gone. So that's nice. Story in there is also looking good. So it's quite similar. We can play around with the margin at the bottom of this section. Mobile. Maybe we can set this one, the bottom one, to 0. There we go. Then we set a little bit of a margin in here. I think that would be nicer. What happened right there? At the margin there as well. Annoying save failed. Happening? Why doesn't it? Heading? Why is the heading so big? What happened here? Did I set a different line height? Yeah. Why does it keep failing? This one of 2. Oops. I made a mistake for my grid. Can be 1 of 2. Still. Doesn't matter. Even on mobile can be the same. And then we can remove this one. Come on, save. There we go. Now we need this one back to 0.8. And that one can be removed. I think spacing is quite large still, so we need to still change that a little bit. We've removed the padding there, but there's a lot of padding going on here, or at least a lot of spacing. What kind of spacing? Tell that it's a margin, but we set the margin to 0, right? Only for the top we set it to 1. Annoying. So there we can easily set these padding to 0, but why doesn't it remove the padding here? This one looks good. Let's just continue. Well, I guess here we have to do our interaction layer trick we just did as well. But instead, we'll just be lazy and increase a little bit of visible size. What they actually did on the Drive Capital website is instead of 3 columns, they do 2 columns, and the last image is just hidden on mobile. So we can do that as well. Item. There we go. And we hit save. And if it doesn't fill, we have our 2 images going into our story. Our nice hover effect. One showing, the other is now showing not. Now let's see. There we hit 16.9. Copy and paste this clip off. So it will make our lives easier a little bit. Hit save, and there we are. Come on. This is also a weird section. When the images are coming in, one isn't viewing correctly. So I think I will just remove one. Hide an image. Mobile. Let's see. Hide on mobile. Come on. It's a little bit weird. I think that has to do with the words here. I'm not sure, but I'm now seeing the same effect happening here, so can it as well be? Yep, that saves it. But now we have to change some settings, and it will be, I guess, the margin of this one. And if it isn't the margin, it could be minus margin on one of these. Because we have changed the way it should work, actually. But where? Into. Is anybody still watching? I guess no one's watching at the moment, but that's fine. To change the spacing in there as well. Change to the top one. Just one should be fine. Bottom should be 0. And here we set the bottom EM to 0 to 1 as well. this section can be done the same way as we did the previous one. To make my life a little bit easier, I will just duplicate and then drag it down to the position where we want it. Could be a little bit further down, I see. This is, by the way, when the next update is getting in clutch, because you can rename your containers. That's so amazing. We can clean up the wording here. And just see what kind of container and which container we're trying to move out of the way. Here. Let's subscribe. If you haven't already hit subscribe, it would help out massively to let me know that I'm still working on the right stuff. And I would love that to be true. Let's save again. Go. Now this can be changed. But what actually is happening here? So let's have a look. Does there need to be another margin or whatsoever? Something set there. Something set in the other image. Yes, there's the transform. Ah, it's the skill, the default one. Didn't we set anything in here? Can't believe it. Yes, there it is. Mobile. The shift to be 0. I don't know why it keeps failing to save. And I think on mobile there should be more spacing between them. So let's just see what happens if we add some margins to the top and bottom. Maybe set somewhere a negative margin or something. 3. Let's just make it massive, right? Save. Hey, good evening, Tony. How nice of you to join. I was wondering if anybody would join today. There we go. That looks better. Maybe this one should be very down. Sorry. 2 columns. Something messed up our things. How are you doing, Tony? Are you doing fine this lovely evening? What's happening here? It's magic. It's flying on its own. What? Okay. Just hit subscribe. So we just hit this section. In the slider section, maybe we should add a little bit spacing on mobile to this version. To 1em. You're cool today. Nice design. Thanks. Nice to hear that you're cool today. How, you messaged me in Facebook group that something didn't work. And I tried to fix it. And, oh, it was the change of the image, right? Let's have a look. Did it work out as I sent you, or wasn't it the right fix at all? It was this one. Where is my mouse? That seems to be working. That as well. Ooh, it looks a little bit crowded. I guess this is fine for the portfolio. Just small flickering on a part of the screen. I suspect is because of you almost got it working. That's nice to know. Too many interaction layers and elements on the same row. You need some help. Maybe we can simplify it. I have some time after the stream. Look. So, mobile, I want the section to have one column. And the footer needs to change still. So let's edit that. And make it look a little bit better. So that should be just downwards direction. So we just do reverse. I think that looks better. Spacing would be different. Feels like there's a spacing on the wrapper. Or is it the alignment? No, it isn't. The alignment of the wrapper. Align to the left. And for here, also want the direction downwards. And the image could be centered. That would look a little bit nicer. Why is the container so small? 100%. Oh, nice. You know where to find you. Yes. And you know where to find me. Facebook was down a little bit today as well. I was almost worried that I couldn't get everything to work. Oops. Let's have a look. Here we have. Everything needs to be 100%. Max width. 100 as well. But in the end, the Facebook did work, so that's fine. And let's change the values here. go down a direction. And have them all centered. That looks a little bit better. And perhaps the border of this one should be changed. 3, perhaps 2. Everybody was panicking. Yeah, the funny thing, the first thing I did when I saw that I was suddenly logged out in Facebook, I was worried that I was hacked. So the first thing I did is went to X Twitter. I don't know if you call it Twitter because yours Twitter button, or you call it X, but X Twitter just solves it, right? And yeah, there everybody said that everything is fine. They were just logged out, and you don't need to worry for as of yet. So that was nice. And after work, it did work again. After work, it did work. So there we go, almost done. I'm happy. Refresh this. And there we have our responsive website. It was quite a journey to get this working, but in my opinion, we're done. We've recreated the Drive Capital website. It was a very nice, a fun experience actually to do this. To just get experience in how Greenshift works. Laptop screen. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know that the options work like that. So there we have our homepage working as intended. Now you could go on and even optimize it further if you would like to. But I'm very happy and pleased that it turned out right now. I was checking the link. Thank you. Thank you that you like it. And I'm happy actually with the result. It isn't the perfect, but yeah, everything should be in there. Now there is to say that Drive Capital has spent a little bit more time to get everything in there, and I'm not doing that. I also have a better team working on all the images and pictures, which make it very coherent. And but this is what we have. We could do. So thank you for the past live streams, and thank you, Kimberly, for coming up with this the idea to recreate this. And yeah, I'm looking forward for a new project, and I already have something in mind. Because what I've always ambitioned to create is an Apple-like website. And I don't mean just like Apple, but I mean their animations, they are awesome, but also their storytelling. And that's one of the next projects I want to work towards. So during my live streams, I will be working on those. So let me just see if I can find it. You're welcome, Tony. And thank you as well for responding in the poll. I really love to see what the feeling of people's knowledge is so that I can make more appropriate tutorials. And that's what I will be doing next quarter to see if we can dive even deeper or add some more information into things that the community finds interesting. I mean, I can make videos, but I think it makes more sense to help you guys out as well, right? I mean, I am the guy with some knowledge and years of experience with creating websites. My first CMS was called Cute News. That's a very cute name. And the CMS that I use. Yep. And then Joomla and then all those things. But this is the project I'm working on. I want to continue doing that on live stream to tell a story. And later on, I will use these as well for my tutorials on the day afterwards. So here I will be telling a story of this effect that we are going to recreate. It doesn't work. That's a shame. I should change to dark mode right here. And then I will show what actually is happening with the first image. I break down what's happening with the image. And the next step that you will see an overview or on how and where you could use it and how it could look. And the last part is that I show you how you can recreate this yourself, the whole thing. So, yeah, looking forward to work on those projects for the next couple of weeks to make a Apple-like tutorial website in storytelling. So I hope you can see it for you, that something like this and all the animations happening right here is happening for the tutorial website right here. So that will be my next project that I will be working on for the next couple of months. Thank you all for joining the last couple of weeks, the live stream on how to recreate the Drive Capital website. I'm very pleased with the end result. And it was a very nice experience to get frustrated, but also to get a lot of wins, understand how the Greenshift tool works and how big and complex it is. I mean, it's just insane. And I hope you will join me as well for my next couple of months on live streams, where I will be doing some kind of storytelling, just like Apple, just like I said. And quite possibly in the live stream as well, I will just ask in the Facebook group of Greenshift if there's a section you would like me to recreate. So I will be more active, I guess, and also be asking more questions on what would help you out. I mean, I know what I want to create, and that's the storytelling part, but I want to help you out to get more experienced with using Greenshift, with using the add-ons. So that would also be the next thing to look in the Greenshift add-ons as well. Block gallery, pricing. Pricing. So that will be the query add-on and the animation add-on. I will do a more of a deep dive into those as well. And Also look at the charts and WooCommerce and also the SEO and marketing add-on. Quite possibly I do a review website next. That would be also be nice. See how we can build that up. But first I want to try out the storytelling crawling website. So that's it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, hit subscribe if you like this. Keep designing.